Good morning, Ajan Nantakorn.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Ajan Nantakorn, for your time. Wait a second. And please wait a second. We will set up everything first.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Atas nama Sivitas Akademika dan seluruh warga Fakultas Sains dan Matematika, saya Profesor Dr. Widowati, Dekan Fakultas Sains dan Matematika Universitas Diponegoro, mengucapkan selamat atas diterimanya saudara-saudari di Fakultas Sains dan Matematika.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Program studi Bioteknologi Universitas Diponegoro berdiri pada tahun 2018. Program studi Bioteknologi memiliki visi pada tahun 2025 menjadi pusat pendidikan penelitian bidang bioteknologi sumber daya hayati yang berkontribusi dalam skala nasional dan internasional dalam pemanfaatan pengembangan sumber daya hayati yang berkelanjutan. Untuk selanjutnya, misi dari program studi Bioteknologi Universitas Diponegoro terdiri dari 1. Melaksanakan pendidikan tinggi jenjang sarjana bidang bioteknologi sumber daya hayati yang unggul, bermoral, beretika, berkompeten, berkarakter, dan berwawasan kebangsaan. Misi yang kedua adalah melaksanakan dan meningkatkan kualitas penelitian yang kreatif dan inovatif dalam pemanfaatan pengembangan sumber daya hayati yang berkelanjutan berdasarkan prinsip-prinsip bioteknologi. Misi yang ketiga adalah melaksanakan dan meningkatkan kualitas dan kuantitas pengabdian kepada masyarakat melalui pendidikan tentang pemanfaatan dan pengembangan sumber daya hayati yang berkelanjutan.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this visiting professor program. And today I would like to be a moderator in this visiting program. And before we start this presentation, I would like to say good morning, Prof. Nantakorn, and good morning also, P2E. And this visiting program is held by Biotechnology Study Program di Diponegoro University, and the aim of this program is to enrich not only for the student but also for the participant who will join in this visiting program. And today, it's an honor for me to introduce to all of the participants our speaker, Professor Nantakorn Boonkerd. I would like to write his short CV before Professor Nantakorn Boonkerd start the presentation. So his background education, BS from Soil Science from Kasetsat University, Thailand, and Master from Soil Microbiology, University of Maryland, United States, and PhD in the field of soil microbiology from Texas A&M University, United States. And since 1993 until now, he's in School of Biotechnology, Institute of Agricultural Technology, Suranaree University of Thailand. And also, before that, he worked in Department of Agriculture in Bangkok in Thailand. And he's been a consultant in many countries, such as Burma, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and other countries such as Korea, as a consultant in agriculture. So today, I'm very pleased to introduce Prof. Nantakorn Boonkerd, and he will talk about the development of medicinal cannabis in Thailand. As you know that for the last few years, cannabis has been legalized in Thailand as medicinal and health utilities. So today, Prof. Nantakorn will tell us about the development and utilization of medicinal cannabis in Thailand. Okay, Prof. Nantakorn, time is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Prof.
Okay. So they're like talking about the cannabis research in Thailand, because the cannabis has been illegal in Thailand for a long time. Just until in 2019, the government allow the cannabis to be studied, research in Thailand. Only the government agency and university can do research in Thailand. The private sector, like a farmer, cannot do it. But if they want to collaborate with the university to do some research, they can do to form the group of the cooperation, the farmer co-op, something like that they can do. So for us, we just study about 2 years for cannabis. to do cannabis. See, cannabis is illegal. So that's why you have to do everything under the government control. So you have to provide the area, the map to the government agency that control the legally or in cannabis. For us, when we want to do research, we have to identify how many plants you want to grow, what the area. So we obtain the permission in the areas of about 2 blocks, 1,500 square meter, and another greenhouse, the same size. So in top view, you will see now, here we have the nursery for seedling production. And this one, the white one, we grow cannabis. We do research to see that we go in the pot using the substrate. But another block, we just want to compare how it will go in the soil directly. You see, you can see the dark color here. Because we make the beds 1 meter and cover with the black plastic. Now, in the beginning, at present, we expand the production area. Instead of this block, we increase the more greenhouse to do more research here in the whole area here. But the area that we do research in cannabis used to be the organic farming in the university. Because to grow cannabis for the medical use, the requirement is have to be free of a toxic substance, like a chemical for insect, pest, or heavy metal also. And then we have to have the control units, like if we have to, this is a control unit for to see that everything in the area of growing. Okay. Okay. Regarding the cannabis plant, the cannabis plant, its scientific name is Cannabis sativa, and also and subspecies. Cannabis sativa is there are about 3 species sativa that we can help, and then another species indica, or we call marijuana, and Utilization. This is a species found in Europe, in the south of Russia. The plant is small, and another one, Africanica. So general characteristic of cannabis or hemp sativa, narrow in cylinder. Marijuana that we call indica, and the leaf have 7 lobes, broad and short. Generally, stem also short. And Ludularis is 5 leaves and small leaf, and the plant is small, smaller. And Africanica also large and thick leaf, short stem, and branching. Okay, this is the sativa. You can see it now. This is flowering, and the leaf slender. Yeah, also. And indica, yeah. The leaf is the broad and short, and the flower, somebody. And here, the side of the leaf, you can see the short leaf. And this is ruderalis, small plant, and the plant in the field, the short. And Africanic also the small plant that go in the field and the side. Okay, for in in drawing, you can see steva here with the leaf long 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and also this indica, the short one, and ruderalis here. And you can see the size of steva is cylinder, and steva indica. And lucid diagram. Yeah, this is steva and indica. And in concept, the chemical, the difference between the indica and steva is the chemical, the cannabinoid. Both of them contain cannabinoid, about more than 100 kinds of cannabinoid. But the majority of cannabinoid, or the important that they use for the medical use, is the two type, CBD, non-psychoactive, and THC is a psychoactive. In marijuana, contain high THC and a psychoactive chemical inside here, about 15 or 20% THC. For him, have to be lower than 0.3% THC. But in Thailand, the government allow 1% THC in the hemp. Okay, for the sex species, male or female, in cannabis, it contains 2 types of the 3 types. Male only. Here the male. They can form like the small like a small egg right here. See? And also female, they have the same, but they have the pistil here. And also the flower of the female. The female have the flower like this, the fluorescent here. And also, you can see now, these are female. The female flower contain the very high the substance like THC or CBD only in here. But the main flower do not have this chemical. So normally, when we grow the cannabis plant, we have to you have to check out or cut them out because they don't have the chemical here. But another type, they can contain both male and female. This is female plant and still the same plant have the main flower. Okay, to grow cannabis. For research, the government don't want, not allowed to go in the field because of it faces some kind of chemical form and also the heavy metal. Normally, that's why we have to formulate the substrate that the appropriate price. That our university did some research on this. We found that the substrate in Thailand that we have coconut coconut chip and coconut coir dust and lye husk, and also filter cake from sugarcane. I think similar to Indonesia also, you have all kinds of this. So we use it and formulate for the substrate. If you want to import like a piece one from other country, the cost is too expensive for farmers. Piece one also can be used. Piece one but in Thailand or in tropical, it's difficult to find. Normally have to import outside. The piece one is normally used for seedling, but also it can be used for the grow in the pot as substrate also. But for coconut, see, we can find, because in Thailand we have a lot of coconut at for the commercial. And also the coconut, the most important in coconut, after we analyze from different countries, that we found that the coconut also contain very high potassium. See the potassium. If potassium so high, it will block the calcium or magnesium. So before using, we have to watch out the potassium from the substrate here. And lye husk also can be used because we use the lye husk for drainage in the pot. But sometimes the disadvantage of coconut is when we with watering, the drainage is so quick also. And also sometimes some area is difficult to find coconut. But anyway, they can be used this. And then we analyze the coconut, the element are not so high. The most important for substrate, we don't want the substrate to contain too high of this kind of mineral, because the purpose of substrate for the root can penetrate and can grow better. Because cannabis plant, the root system very good, and then they need a lot of aeration. So the substrate here just have to be very good for aeration. And and another type of the material that we use, we call the filter cake from the sugarcane. Filter cake is very good. Also, like a compost, they can absorb, and also they can have some amount of the nitrogen, potassium, and high organic matter, and mixing together with the other, like a coconut, it can provide very uniform the texture and drainage. Okay. Also, the before growing in the big area, so the cannabis plant need to be propagated or making seedling. To make the seedling, also we use the simple. We use also the thing that we use is coconut coir dust only, and put in here. Okay. And before that, the seed have to be soaked overnight. The overnight thing, and then they start sprouting like this. So we can put in the coconut, and then you can see the then start sprouting here. The root going here. This is the site very more suitable. If you leave longer, the root will be too long. Let's see, like this one, it's not suitable to put in here. So about this side, and then in the tray here, they have the hole. They put the substrate in here, and then the seed can be one seed put in one hole here. Okay. Yeah, after that, the seed can germinate. One thing in the tray, the root grow in very well. We can pick out from the tray and then put into the larger pot. Yeah, small size here. But it not, sometimes you can go directly to the big container, but it's better to put in this size first, and then the plant is go bigger, and then we go to outside, we go better. Oh, another thing we can propagate, because to grow cannabis by using seedling here. So the cannabis, when we grow out, they can have male and female. But the main plant, we don't use it. So that's why when we found that the main family come out, we have to discard them. So that's why another way, if we want to get the all female, we can do like a cloning. Like our female plant, we take the female plant and then cut the branch, small branch here, cutting here, and then cut the leaf out here, and we can put them in the tray also, or any container. And before that, we have to soak in the hormone. We got two types of hormone, IBA and MBA. For about, in the concentration about 200 to 5 ppm. So it's better to test first if we want to check whether the 200 better or more concentration. About 5 or 15 seconds. And then we can put in a container and put in the small plastic chamber, because we need the humidity in here at the early stage have to be about 90%. Yeah, the way that we cutting here in here. And then when we put it like this, the germination, you can see the root come out this way here. When the root come out here, we put in the pot. Yeah, the pot here. Then all of them will be female. Yeah. Okay, after the seedling grow, the plant go up about 1 meter. We have to do like a pruning or topping. So like we have to cut the plant here, this area, cut the top until it opens right away. Yeah, to make it bushy, the plant get more branch, andมีรูปมันเป็นไงวะบางอยู่แล้วตรงนี้บางรูปที่มันเป็นต้นนะokay I'd like to show you if you do not top the cannabis plant can go further until 2 meters, but they don't do branching so much. Then the idea, if we top up, we want them let the branch out here like this. More branch, more flowers. Or another way, yeah, this one we do that. You can see now, take out here. Another way we could do like a bending. When they bending here like this, allow them to do dancing here. Or this way we can do here. If you go this way and cut it off, until the new part that germinate here. So like this way. Yeah, if the pot can, we can start bending. We don't have to slowly. And the first day, later on, we could move down now. Okay, like this one, we can we can have the pot here and use the ropes, tie up and bend down here, and then force them to do branching from here. Otherwise, the plan is to go directly. This area no branching. See? That's why we have to bend and then force them to do branching here. And you can do any type of you want. Like this one, see? The flower will come here beautifully. You get more flower. It's a single flower here. Single flower. The form and the texture. So this way here, they can have the branch some up here. So this anyway, anyone can decide whatever you want to. Okay, the problem with the cannabis that we found here, because small insect very important. They have threats, yeah, with the enemy or Wi-Fi, they come here, and armyworms. Armyworm is a cycle of armyworm. The fly coming here, and red mite and aphid. So this is important for cannabis. Yeah, like we already said that in cannabis plants, there are many, more than 200 species of the chemical, but only two they use for the medical use and other use like dentanide, tetrahydrocannabidiol, and CBD stands for cannabidiol. Both THC and CBD are indicator for whether the cannabis plant will help will be help or marijuana. See, if the THC high, like we already said that there will be marijuana, and low is CBD, that we call help. So the use of hemp in Thailand, long time ago, maybe more than 100 years, the people in Thailand, medical cannabis is a common vegetable plant in a household. This is the use for the also the use for the cannabis as the medicine. So in the year 1631 to 1688, we have 16 medical cannabis formula. All of them they contain, but the formula contain different herbal plants. But all of them have to be cannabis as the ingredient, but not too much, just small amount. They use for just enhancing the activity of the other herbal put in the cannabis. So we have 16, species or 16 types, and also cannabis they use as food in the village. On the growing marijuana, they use for the part for cooking, and they have like a can be substituted for monosodium glutamate or a type of omamine taste. And also they use for like agent, like cooking or smoking also. So cannabis plant now today maybe about 50,000 commercial use in the cannabis plant, because the cannabis plant, the major chemical is cannabinoid and flavonoid and terpenes. This is the major commercialized use, and then also they can use for many things. Use that oil for the seed, also textile, food, supplement, medical, paper production, cosmetic, plastic, livestock feed, cooking. All over worldwide, the cannabis have been used in the like a United States, is the green one here, and here for medical. Some states have been used for legally for more than 10 years. 90% in the US allowed to grow, but only few states also do not be allowed. And in Europe also, the many countries, the government allowed to go freely here also. Australia also, they allowed to use, but not to grow. So Australia has to be import from other countries. So in Thailand, we have the question. Like I said, Thailand, the policy of the government, they want the government agency or university to start doing some research to find out what the technique, how to grow cannabis properly. But they don't allow the farmer to go now directly because we don't have a technology to grow, because long time we don't, like in Europe university, we have not done any research since 2 years ago. So like our university, when we allow now just about 2 years that we have the opportunity to do research, but our research we focus only the growing plant first. So this is a research program that we do. We do the breeding selection, the propagation, the soil fertilizer and pest management, utilization guideline, food supplement, bioactive substance. But now we already achieved this program. So because we don't have more time, but later on we will do other. Okay, we already showed you that. Now we can go further. Okay, so for soil and fertilizer management, the most important if you want to grow any plant, so that to apply really properly or more efficiently of a fertilizer, we have to know the plant how much NPK, calcium, magnesium they want. So we use the cannabis at the flowering stage. It's the stem we found that they contain nitrogen 0.8%, in the root 1.9. Is quite high compared to another plant. Leaves 3.5 for a total 6 point, but phosphorus 0.6 to do, not too high. and potassium 0.7, 1 point in the root, and leaf also, yeah, normal, like the other plant, and the total 3.9. It's surprisingly, see, calcium, normally calcium is low here, but calcium really high in the leaf, more than other plant, see that's why the cannabis plant require high calcium also, and magnesium is okay normally. So we have to decide, when we know that nitrogen very important because the cannabis plant synthesize many compounds, like I said, that about 100 to 200 types of the compound, even in the root, see, they can have very high nitrogen, because the nitrogen is the component of the enzyme to synthesize some chemical in the root and also in the leaf and in the flower. Okay, that's why the formulation of fertilizer, we have to based on the requirement here. And also seedling, really important. That's why we the first thing we do, we have to do the seedling, the substrate suitable for here. So we start the formula here. So one coconut coir dust and peach moss at the ratio of 1:1. And it's treatment one. And also the second one, coconut coir dust, peach moss, and silicate the ratio 1:1:1. And then number 2. Number 3, coconut coir dust and silicate 1:1 by volume. Okay. And we use the tray of potting tray here. And the small tray is a 200 holes per tray. And the medium one, 105 holes per tray. And large size, 60. Yeah. Okay, yeah. This is small tray. And it shows that see the formula one. And yeah, the number 2 is inferior to both of these. This one is better. And the larger size, this one 105, this one here. Now we can see number 1 and number 2. Number 2 a little bit better. It might be because the size of the node is bigger. Allow this one better, and number 3 only go better here. And also for the larger size, 60 holes. See, you can see here with in the pot. Yeah, we have another one in the pot. Here in the pot, number 1, 2, 3. So in conclusion, the formula 3 contain. We have the formula 3 better always here. So that formula 3 contains only coconut coir dust and filter cake. And compared to the cost, this one, the highest cost. This one the medium. This one cheaper, the cheapest one here. See, that's why in this case, after the research here, we found that the cost of production, this one is cheaper than this. That's why now we use this formula using only the coconut coir dust, number 3. Yeah, see. This one appropriate because the cost of coconut coir dust very cheap, maybe 1 baht per kilo, and also filter cake about half baht per kilo. Yeah. So this is when we do this way, and then we go better, and also it's suitable for farmer also. They can find this type of material anywhere. and also microorganisms. Because in biotechnology, the section in the university, our researchers and professors specialize in the microorganism for biofertilizer. And then now we do research very specialized in this kind of promoting bacteria. Now we use two types, Bacillus thuringiensis, the P9, yeah, and also substitute. Yeah, okay, I read for you here. Yeah, thuringiensis and Bacillus thuringiensis, yeah, and turned out to be P9, the most suitable. So we will add microorganisms in the substrate then to enhance the growth of seedling. Okay, and another type, like I already told you before, in our research, we will do research both in the pot experiment and also in the soil, because in our area it is organic farming. So, but anyway, before doing, we have to analyze the soil, whether the soil is suitable for the pH, block 1, 2, 3, organic matter. They are quite low, a little bit low. pH okay, 7. And phosphorus, the milligram per kilo, yeah, that in a little bit high in the soil, not too high. And also potassium is adequate, the calcium, the amount adequate, yeah. So in this experiment, so we don't need to add phosphorus, potassium, calcium, but we will use only nitrogen. And also, since organic matter is quite low, we will add the organic matter in the soil, about 1 kilo per square meter, put in there. And then organic matter can provide micronutrients in the soil. And then we will fertigate them with nitrogen. And also in the soil, it is very important to grow cannabis for medical use. We don't allow to contain arsenic, cadmium, chromium, lead, mercury. So from our analysis here, all of them is under they are little low. So it is, so that's why it is suitable for growing cannabis, no toxic substance. And also after harvest, we have to harvest the flower also before sending to the hospital. Okay, this is the result we compare in the soil. So that's why in the pot here, we use the coconut coir, fill the cake, and coconut chip, and fertigate with the liquid, the formula of hydroponic fertilizer. But in the soil here, so that I said already, we will fertigate with water and nitrogen fertilizer only. So the plant is equivalent here. So but the problem in the soil simply go in the greenhouse. To the second preparation in the soil that be quite difficult, and also the problem to get the root, because cannabis plant to use the whole plant. They use the leaf, the stem, also branch, and also root. Root will contain very high some medical chemical use also. So in the hospital they use all of them. Yeah. So that's why we have to harvest the root also. That's why to go in the soil, it's harder to uproot here. That's why the pots are better to get the root out here. Easy. Okay. Come back again here. And also before starting in the pot here, we also do some research here to see the difference here, 3-to-1 in here, 3-to-1-to-1, 3-to-1-to-1 of the coconut peel, bitter cake, and coconut. This one we have quite us also, and light has also here, this one. All of them, the plant, all of them here, you got number 1, number 2, number 3 here. No different in the thing. And the problem sometimes I said in the dry house here, drain it so quickly that sometimes we have to add water more quickly. Yeah. So at the end, in the conclusion, we found that this one is more suitable. So we use this one for all of them. After harvesting, the substrate in the plot will be analyzed, and we found that they use after harvesting, they contain 30% organic matter. Yeah, this is like a good compost thing. This one, not too high nitrogen, 91%, phosphorus 2.7 potassium. So we use this one. We compare using the reused thing. So this one we various adaptation, and then we use the planting material and own planting material. This one we go to the use, and also we mix with the new material also and separate, and the result show all of them get the same result. That's why the use of the material can be incorporated into the substrate for growing cannabis. Yeah. Okay, regarding the pest control, like I showed you earlier, that the pest control. So we use like a herbal plant in organic. I mean, like a neem seed. See, we use the neem seed, and so and then we control the world by, and they feed in here 1 to 3 weeks, and then different size. This is the control, the leaf area. Yeah, see, 1, 2, 3 after stay 24 hours. Control this is 1% neem seed extract to 5%. So this is the area of the eating. So we found that's why this one can reduce the eating of the leaves by the bird. And this is another one in Thailand we call makpen, and I don't know in English. This is a tropical. They use for cooking anyway, for the farmer cooking, like in China they call mala. Yeah, for cooking. And then they'll protect animal. Also, this market, it also show the eating. Yeah, this is 2%. Yeah, that's why we can use this one to reduce, to protect it also. And another one that we do now. We really This is I think BT by using tuba root. Didn't okay. The thermal tuber root is a plant like a legume plant. It's a legume plant. They get to wire. We use the root. The root if we use the powder of the root soak into the water. They get the milky color. Also, the farmer sometimes they use put into the pond. They can make the fish color like that. This kind of thing that by we use it for control some insect, whether this one can control cannabis we are. So this one we use to armyworm this state 1 to 2, 24 hours using this. And the result here, so they can this one they can control. And also another one here, we use the same size, and this the worm is bigger 2 to 3 days, and also this is one stage 1 to 2. This is it for the bigger one. This small one they can control, but for the big one they're not different from here. So that's why we have to use on the size of the smaller. And also this is the BT state. This is the bigger worm. This one, they control. They can eat. This one, they eat more here. This small, but now this one no BT. When we use the BT here, the bigger size not effective, but the small size is very effective to control the worm. And this is also very important. You can see this. Since that small insect, it is very difficult to, if we don't spray, it's sometimes very difficult. We find out that we use the glue, put in the plastic yellow one here. And then see the insect like a red spider and aphid. And the insect the Wi-Fi, and also trick, something like that. Even the small insect here, they can trap here. That's why it's very effective to control, because these insects, if they don't kill, they will propagate very quickly. See, one insect can propagate maybe up to 100 worms, something like that, by using the tool. And then after this we can change it. That's why we can kill it mechanically. It's very effective. And also now what we do now. Okay. This is propagation by using we use IAA here. So in this one we use IAA 100 ppm and 60 ppm IAA. And then and also another one, but it's 200 IAA, 100 IBA, 60 here. It look like that the low concentration here is better by using young blood. And this one at 200 is not so good. So that's why we use only this one here. 50 ppm here is better. And yeah, also experiment determine the optimum time for soaking. See, we're soaking in the hormone 30 seconds, 3 minutes, and 5 minutes. 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. That's why 30 seconds is more effective. So that's why we choose this one to do propagate. And also we can use LED to control the seedling. See, sometimes when we do cloning, the plant in the state of flowering, the seedling for cutting it start flowering. So we want to see that if we use the LED, we need LED in 18 hours per day. See, the result it will be now is okay, 18 hours a branch not influenced by LED. This is control and every influence LED 18 hours. And then you see now they are under the LED here. You can see that the plant converted from flowering to be vegetative. And also we can use LED with the seeding also. LED, that means for the sunlight. See, for sunlight, the light contains the color of the photosynthesis in the yellow one, white, and blue, red, and yellow or something. But the plant need only two colors, blue and red. See? Blue, red for photosynthesis. So in this case, we use the ratio. We didn't control. No LED, blue and red 1 to 1. This one 2 to 1. Of blue. And no difference. This one better. A little bit. And red more red. The plant cylinder like a little bit tall, but the leaves, the concentration from blue color is better. And also, yeah, we use the plant, the bigger one, and this one, 1 to 1. It looks better, shorter track, yeah. But the red color makes the plant increase in the height. And another one here, we use LED light on the top of the beginning to bloom. Okay. It's beginning to bloom. So that if no LED is shorter and we use LED 1 to 1, they can increase the size of the plant. The 2 to 1 is shorter, but the red color also short. So this is 1 to 1. Seems to be better to increase the size. Containing okay. After we harvest the plant here, we send them, to analyze the chemical inside the leaf. The root part that contains 0.001 CBD and 0.0 because the cannabis in the experiment we call that the high THC low. That's why CBD is too low. So in the root they contain a little bit higher, but the leaf part contain very low CBD because the plant is low, but higher 1 to 0.6 THC. and the part is inflorescence flower thing here. But the flower contain very higher than this. That's why the THC, the plant, to get a high THC, it was used for medical use. And also we analyze the melatonin in the flowering period. How to make decision when we should harvest the plant for the flower to see that we can get very high chemical. In this case, we got this variety on soy tong. Yeah, and we look at the tycho color by using the microscope. The clear color, we have it at this clear color, this is percent of THC. Milky color, they mature later. That's increasing now, but the highest we got amber emerged like a little bit yellow. See, but CBD low because this plant we use high THC. And another variety here, we get this, and higher milky and amber. And this one also, this one should be, it's very high at THC also. But the problem, why this one lower? Because after when we harvest, we found that the typo in this at this time is lower, maybe too mature. So too mature, the typo on the decline. And okay, in the color here, this is clear, this is number one. This one milky, this amber. So this state, we will get highest THC. But the second one here, the milky one, this is also high. But that I told you that the last one, see, they get very high here. But this one, you can see that it's too old, over mature. That's why the reason you can get the lower THC, but the milky one higher. But otherwise, if my type of maintain this one like this, you get higher. But in conclusion, so harvesting should be allowed this one. Maybe 20% of this and 80% of this we get. Okay, it is in conclusion. From our study here, see that we will summarize here. This is underground. What we do with underground? Underground, we do the formulation of substrate used and fertilizer used. And you can see we use the PGPR. And here also PGPR can simulate the root growth. We get a formulate of that to see. But above ground here, we use also study with LED to enhance the growth of the plant and also control some insect in the leaves. That's why all of our study at this stage cover this part of the research. So, since the government also allow the group of the farmers to do some research with the government or with the university, so it is necessary we have to do some technology transfer. So for our research, then we will do some training for the farmers who want to do research with us. And also we do some poster presentation anywhere that they have the community meeting. Also, this is we show when our area now, we have the planting area. this is the laboratory for the extract of cannabinoid, THC and CBD here. Because our equipment. And also we do some enterprise. Now the farmer, when we start doing with the farmer can be to get some benefit. They can form a group and then we can work together. So that's our idea. In the future now we are building another area, greenhouse here in the university. This area about 80 the greenhouse. That's why we will have the farmer who want to study some research for commercialize in the future. They will come to us and then we will allow them to use one group, one greenhouse to do research with us. Okay, thank you for your attention. Any questions? You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Ajahn Nantakorn, for very interesting presentation from you. And please, audience, participant, if you have any question, you can raise your hand or you can write down in the chat room. Okay. Meanwhile, there is a question from Mr. Agung Supriyadi. So his question is there a mechanism of translocation or accumulation of THC and CBD that correlates with plant age? So he asking about the concentration of THC and CBD and with the plant age.
CBD, different plant, if we call it plant. Now the government allow to grow THC plant, only the government control. But for CBD, you can get permission. Now they allow the other people to grow a CBD plant also, because a CBD is not psychoactive, but THC also, you have to go under the government control. What's your question? Is it okay?
Yes. So what about the plant age with the correlation of the accumulation of THC and CBD, the concentration of cannabinoids?
No, because the plant do not contain CBD and THC in the same plant and high amount. We have to select variety. If you want to go THC plant, that's why they will control high THC only. They have they will have a CBD. If you want to commercialize THC, that you have to select the variety that contains high THC, and the yield of THC will be in the flower only, high in the flower. And then the flower in the state of contain the typhon in the amber color. Yeah. Okay, understand?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So according to you, which one is more important in the medicinal application, THC or the CBD?
THC, yes, only the medical use only. But CBD also, because CBD is not psychoactive, you can use CBD for cooking, for cake, or water drinking, or some other. And also CBD can make some other medicine for the Alzheimer. It will, and you can put it as cosmetic. But actually, CBD will be widely used more than THC, but THC only the medical, only the doctor can be used. But the CBD, they allow the other people use also. But CBD, if you want to go CBD, you have to have a different variety.
So both these can be used in the medicinal field.
A THC plant in the flower only. You have to extract oil. Now, normally for the traditional formula of the medicine, they can use leaf, stem, or root also together for the the medical, not the traditional one. They have to use oil extract for the flower.
Okay. So, any question from the first participant? You can raise your hand or you can write down in the chat room. Okay. Maybe another question is because it's related with plant microbe interaction. When you use PGPR, which is Bacillus thuringiensis and phalangensis, what type of application or what kind of application you use to in this cannabis seedling?
Yeah, we have to spray because to use that BT, you have to see also the insect. When the insect come to the area, see when they lay egg, they hatch. The worm has to be small. If the large size, the using BT not quite effective. That's why the most important you have to do tapping, to see the butterfly. See when the butterfly come in, and then you see that, and then you have to observe it. Okay, and they start hatching. To see the small insect, you have to spray immediately. If you allow the insect to be bigger, it's effective, it's low. That's why the earlier better. Then they have to eat insect. They have to eat the BT. It go into the gut. That's why they can destroy the gut.
Okay, so the pests which attack in the cannabis farming is mostly insect, yeah? Not other pathogen, for example, bacterial pathogen or fungal pathogen.
Yeah, that also they sometimes you see some other disease. We will not use the chemical. We will do auto mixture, like they can control the germination of the spore of the disease. And so the fungus also they can attack when the high humidity. The humidity is too high, they can attack the leaf and also some seedling and also the flower. So to use the chemical, we have to do like preventing, like for seedling, we have to spray like about a mixture, calcium hydroxide and copper sulfate solution. And then the copper can inhibit the growth of the spore, germination of the spore. Once the spore germinate, already they cannot protect. That's why we have to do some preventing for the disease.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Okay, another question from participant, maybe. So, according to you, that the female flower has more metabolic substance contained than male, and how you try to make that the flower has that the cannabis plant has more female flower than male flower?
Yeah, we have to do two things. To get more female, we have to do cutting only. But for the form of the seed, you cannot do anything. You have to see that technically we can do that in the pot. Sometimes instead of growing only one plant, you have to grow maybe 2 or 3 plants. The pot. When they start flowering, The one when farming we can cut out. Yeah, that's the way. That's why we can. That's why we have to spend more land per plot. When after you see that the pet go, okay, no more female, that's why we let it maturity. Otherwise, if we put only second plant, if it turn out to be female, that's why we did not.
Okay. Another method that you use to grow the cannabis is by using plant hormone, auxin, gibberellin, and which combination is better in that effort? I'm sorry for the convenience. Wait a second.
Maybe you can translate for this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, talking about hormone that we use
Yes.
for like you asked me that how to control the male or female. The female, after we saw that the female is produce power. That's why if you want 100% to go female, we have to running only by using the hormone, rooting hormone. Then when we put in one pot, you can get the female. But from the seed, that you can get more. That's why if you use the seed, you have to use more plant per pot. For cloning, only one plant is okay. That guarantee because no main plant.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. Nantakorn. Okay. Is there any question from the participant? You can raise your hand or you can write on the chat room. Okay. No, I think because time is also due, Prof. Nantakorn, thank you very much for your nice presentation and very interesting how you develop cannabis farming and until the extraction and also the problem when growing the cannabis until getting a good quality of metabolic secondary from this cannabis. And wait. Okay, I think there is no other question. Thank you very much, Ajahn Nantakorn, and also B2E. Thank you very much in helping this presentation, and thank you very much for your time and your presentation to give insight and knowledge on how to develop and finally to get a good result of secondary metabolic from cannabis. On behalf of Biotechnology Study Program, I would like to say thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ajahn P2E.
Yeah, you have